Azawari binti Mazaidi, and this is Fazana. Today we are going to talk about juvenile court process. So I will present about introduction, source of juvenile court referral, the petition, the intake function, release or temporary detention, official processing of juvenile offenders, traffic court, hearing to transfer to criminal court.
And in my part is the waiver hearing and the pre-hearing conference, role of the prosecutor, roles of the defense attorney, roles of juvenile court judge, education hearing, disposition hearing, sentences of juvenile adjudicated in criminal court.
So, what is juvenile justice? Juvenile justice in the United States is a collection of state and local court-based system whose purpose is to respond to young people who come into contact with law enforcement and are accused of breaking the law. So basically, juvenile justice ni dia satu sistem untuk mahkamah juvenile. Introduction to juvenile court process. The juvenile court process begins when someone under the age of 18 is accused of a criminal offence and the case is sent to juvenile delinquency court. So, mahkamah juvenile ni dia tak sama dengan mahkamah untuk orang dewasa, sebab kalau macam kita kan kanak-kanak ni dia masih dalam proses pengajaran. So kalau dia buat kesalahan, dia akan dihantar ke pusat untuk ajar lah mereka, untuk elak daripada buat kesalahan tu lagi. Yang ni dia punya proses-proses mahkamah dia. Okey, lepas tu dia punya source of juvenile court referral dia ada 4: police, parent, school and social agency. So basically kalau dia buat masalah, kalau kanak-kanak ni terlibat dengan masalah-masalah juvenile, pihak mahkamah dia akan refer kepada pihak-pihak polis, pihak parents, sekolah ataupun school social agency. Lepas tu the petition. Petition may be defined as a formal written application to a court requesting judicial action on a certain matter. So basically petition ni dia satu dokumen formal yang akan digunakan sebagai pengukuhan. Kalau kita nak bawa kes ni ke mahkamah, dia akan gunakan dokumen-dokumen daripada petition sebagai surat sokongan. Okay, next the intake function. First contact, use and the intake division, reception, detention center for late evening or weekends. Maksudnya kat sini kalau katakan pesalah tu dia datang pada bukan waktu bekerja, dia akan ditangguhkan lah. Lepas tu interview by intake officer scheduled before the judge within 24 hours. Intake division handled complaint from various sources. Responsibilities due. Ada baca lah sini. Release or temporary detention. So basically bila kanak-kanak tu dia disabitkan dengan kesalahan, dia tak terus ditahan. Dia akan ada macam banyaklah proses-proses dia untuk dia menentukan sama ada kanak-kanak tu akan ditahan atau dilepaskan, sebab dia orang ni dalam proses pembelajaran. So tak semestinya kalau kesalahan tu macam taklah besar sangat, so maybe dia orang akan dilepaskan tapi still dalam pemantauan. Tapi kalau kesalahan tu kesalahan yang besar, dia orang akan ditahan dan dihantarkan ke sekolah macam sekolah Henry Bentley. Official processing of juvenile offender. Cover delinquency, dependent, neglected children, and in some cases adult like contributing to delinquency. Adult can be charged and prosecuted in juvenile court. Special docket exists like a drug court, family court, and traffic courts. Magistrate in larger court oversee this specific issue docket. So traffic court dia ada 7 step. First step, arrest and detention. Arrest and detention ni when a juvenile is arrested for a traffic violation, they may be taken to a detention facility for processing and held until a detention hearing is held within 48 hours. So next, detention hearing. During this hearing, a judge decide whether the juvenile should be detained further or released. Lepas tu next, intake and disposition. Intake is the first step in processing juvenile. A decision is made whether the juvenile will be held in custody or released. Lepas tu advisement. Lepas tu yang preliminary hearing or status conference, trial and then sentencing. Lepas tu hearing to transfer to criminal court. Various method for juvenile cases. State utilize different approach for juvenile cases in criminal justice system. Lepas tu judicial waiver as the most common mechanism. The predominant method is judicial waiver, granting the discretion to transfer cases from juvenile to criminal court. Next, statutory exclusion for specific offence. Lepas tu concurrent jurisdiction in some state, and then variety in method usage. Semua ni lah.
Okay, so I will continue in my part 12.3.3, the waiver hearing. A waiver hearing is a legal proceeding where a person requests the waiver or reduction of certain rights or requirement. Okay, waiver hearing ni dia adalah pengecualian pendengaran, di mana dia adalah satu proses undang-undang di mana seseorang tu dia boleh meminta untuk nak buat pengecualian pendengaran ataupun nak mengurangkan dia punya hak jika melakukan kesalahan. Next, different types of hearing. So, they like a custody hearing where a judge decides whether a child will live with after a divorce, and another one is a shelter hearing where a judge decided if a child should be taken away from their parents because they are not being taken care properly. Jadinya kalau yang first ni hakim akan ambil hak jagaan ataupun dia akan tengoklah siapa budak tu, kadang-kadang tu duduk dengan siapa selepas mak ayah dia bercerai, ataupun hakim akan ambil kadang-kadang tersebut dan beri hak jagaan tu kepada orang lain jika parents tak jaga anak dia dengan baik. Next, 12.3.4, the pre-hearing conference. Pre-hearing conference is meeting that takes place before a formal hearing or trial. Its purpose is to facilitate the efficient and organized preparation for the upcoming hearing. Ini adalah proses pembicaraan pendengaran. Dia adalah satu mesyuarat yang diadakan secara tidak formal sebelum berlakunya pembicaraan sebenar lah, untuk nak bila pembicaraan sebenar tu berlaku dia akan jadi teratur. Sebab tu dia kena ada satu proses sebelum pembicaraan rasmi. Next, what in pre-hearing conference? Dia ada 4 benda penting dalam pre-hearing conference, which is plan for the issue that will ultimately be contested at the hearing. Second is explain the discovery and inventory hearing process. Third is discuss possible amendment to the complaint. The last one is establish a schedule for the exchange of discover and any pre-hearing conference, pre-hearing motion. Next. Okay. 12.3.5 is rules of the prosecutor, iaitu peranan pendakwa raya. Peranan pendakwa raya adalah investigations review. Prosecutor will review the evidence gathered during the investigation. Second is charging decisions. Prosecutor decides whether to file criminal charges against an individual or not. And the last one is case preparation. Prosecutor prepare cases for trial by gathering evidence, interviewing witnesses, and collaborating with the law enforcement. 12.3.6 Rules of the defense attorney. The rules of defense attorney is crucial within the legal system, and it involves representing individual accused of committing crimes. The first one is investigation. Defense attorney investigate the charge against their client, iaitu peguam bela akan menyiasat kes yang terlibat dengan klien diorang. Lepas tu yang kedua adalah legal strategy. Defense attorney develop a legal strategy to defend their client. Peguam bela dia akan rancang satu strategi untuk nak mempertahankan dia punya klien. The last one is client counselling. Defense attorney provided emotional support and guidance to their client throughout the legal process. Peguam bela dia akan memberi sokongan emosi dan juga memberi tunjuk ajar kepada dia punya klien untuk nak jalani dia punya proses undang-undang lah. Difference defense for a juvenile and adult. Okay, ni adalah perbezaan peguam bela untuk juvenile dan juga untuk adult. With adult, the cause is also rehabilitation. However, most time it is just to punish the offenders. For juvenile, the cause is always rehabilitation and education. Most juvenile is the system like parental guidance. However, there are also juveniles with excellent parental guidance that get in trouble as well. 3.7 Rules of the Juvenile Court Judge, iaitu peranan Hakim Mahkamah Juvenile. The first one is adjudications. The judge presides over hearings to determine the court or innocence of juveniles accused of committing delinquent act. Second is sentencing. If a juvenile is found guilty, the judge is responsible for determining as appropriate and fair disposition or sentence. The last one is case management. Juvenile court judges are involved in managing cases from the initial stage throughout disposition. So untuk juvenile court judge ni dia ada dua specific duty, which is an administrator and judicator official. Next. 12.3.8 Adjudication hearing. An adjudication hearing is a legal proceeding during which evidence is presented and arguments are made to determine a specific or dispute. Criminal law. An adjudication hearing may take place to determine the guilt or innocence of the accused. Family law. Adjudication hearing may be held to resolve issues such as child custody, visitation or support. If a determination of guilty or true is reached and the charge is minor one, disposition may be made at this point. Otherwise, a date for the dispositional hearing is set. 12.3.9 is disposition hearing. The reason for separating the adjudications and dispositional hearing is to afford the court an opportunity to obtain the information that will be needed to make an appropriate disposition. At the dispositional hearing, the judge has the social investigation report and may also hear information from the defense counsel and prosecutor or probation officer about the possible treatment alternative available to the yacht. Okay, this is a disposition judge. The first one is release of the yacht to the supervision to his or her parent with a warning. Second one is referral to the community social agency for counseling or treatment. Third one is placement in residential treatment center, making this child a ward of the court who will receive needed medical or psychological treatment. Imposition of a fine or requirement that restrictions of some suit be made to an injury party. 7. To official progression supervision by the court. Removal from the home and placement for the foster home. And the last one is commitment to the public or private institution or to the state youth authority for placement. Next, the last one is 10.3.10 is sentences of juvenile adjudicated in criminal court. The determining factor in the sentences of juvenile to an adult correctional facility are related to the age of the offenders, type of crime committed, and the prior delinquent history of the youth. For example, a juvenile convicted in a criminal court to breaking and entering the crime left, and it was determined that the criminal behavior was related to the youth serious drug problem, might be given a sentence to a community residential drug treatment facility. So, finish. Thank you.
Sebelum kami tanya soalan, ada soalan tak? Tapi kalau boleh janganlah soalan tu susah-susah sebab kami pun tak faham. Saya sesat. Ada soalan tak? Tak ada.
Tanya apa-apa soalan.
Tak apa, kami bagi soalan dulu. Soalan dia simple je. Berikan 2 source court reference. Siapa nak jawab?
Okay.
Ada dulu. Sekali. Kita try angkat tangan sama-sama. Satu. Siapa angkat?
So my answer is police and parent.
Betul.
Sini. Mama, tunggu warna merah. Thank you.
Okay, ada lagi satu soalan daripada saya. Kau ada nak tanya soalan dulu? Tak ada soalan? Okay, untuk soalan saya adalah explain one rules of the prosecutor. Explain one rules of prosecutor. Berikan satu peranan ataupun jelaskan satu peranan pendakwa raya. Satu je. Apa yang bagi? Satu je.
So one of the roles of the prosecutor is investigation reviews, which prosecutor will review the evidence gathered during investigation. Thank you.
Disebabkan tak ada siapa tanya soalan, Kasim suruh kami bagi lagi 2 soalan. So, soalan dia, apa yang korang tahu tentang petition? Bagi je pendapat korang tentang petition. Simple je, jawab sikit pun tak apa. Janji dia ada kaitan dengan petition. Yang dalam slide pun boleh cakap. Dia dah highlight dah dalam slide tu. Abang main apa? Yang dah highlight tu.
Petition ialah dokumen yang ditujui kepada sesiapa pejabat dan dinyah pasti oleh banyak individu. Petition boleh dilisan dan bukannya bertulis atau boleh dihantar juga melalui internet.
Betul.
last question is.
Okay, so I wanted to ask about different defense for a juvenile and adult. So here it mentions that with juveniles, the goal is always rehab and education. Most juveniles in the system lack parental guidance. However, there are also juveniles with excellent parental guidance that get into trouble as well. So my question is, why do you think that even for some juveniles who still get proper affection and guidance from their parents, and yet they still commit into juvenile activities? Why do you think that happens?
So apa yang dia tanya tadi, dia kata macam mana kalau kanak-kanak tu dia dijaga dengan baik je dengan parents dia, tapi dia still commit dengan masalah juvenile. So basically dia tak semestinya parents tu yang influence dia punya perangai. Kadang boleh jadi pengaruh rakan sebaya. Contoh dia pergi sekolah, macam parents dia tak ajar pun untuk mencarut, tapi bila dia pergi sekolah kawan-kawan dia mencarut, so dia rasa macam benda tu style, so dia pun ikut. Jawab tak? Okay, itu je. Terima kasih.
Thank you.